Hello, my name is Mike Griffiths. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video and the other videos on this YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about a succession of 4 to 5 prophetic dreams that I've had over the last 5 days. I've been away for Christmas at my hometown Waihi, and every night I've had powerful prophetic dreams since being there. And now that I've returned back to my where I'm living, a city I'm living in, New Zealand, those dreams have stopped, but every night there was an extremely powerful prophetic dream. And this is the first dream that I had. It was Christmas morning, so I want to get straight into it. So I was with a person that I know, a church person, and we were driving this container ship, and we were traveling up the east coast of the United States, and I knew it was the full length of the US, and we were running parallel to the shore. But there were huge, extremely ferocious tsunami waves hitting the coast of America, and I didn't see if they came inland or anything, but they were off the coast, and they were gigantic waves, huge. And inside the waves were submarines, and this was the full length of the east coast in the dream. So as I traveled from the bottom right to the top to basically Canada, there were these giant waves filled with submarines, black menacing submarines. I could see their conning towers and their hydroplanes sticking out. And I navigated myself around them, and it was the whole time I was piloting this large container ship, or might have been an oil tanker. It was a large ship anyway. It took extreme concentration for the waves to hit the wave at the right angle, not to topple the ship over. It was, and then as we approached Canada, or I believe that's where we were, the waves were gone, and we were in this church, and there was a very very shady man in there that I was talking to, very what do you call it, deceptive person that was talking to me in this church. But what I believe is that this dream means is that hidden on the east coast of America is impending danger. That's what I believe the tsunami waves are. They represent impending danger, metaphorically. And the impending danger is the submarines. Whether it's a weapon that causes tsunamis fired from the submarines, or it's just a metaphor for them hidden off the coast. And that's how dicey the situation is. Probably Russian, probably. That's the first dream. That was very, how would you say, vivid and powerful, that dream. The next night, I had a dream about a Russian soldier, and in the dream, I was with a 5-man team, like a platoon, or a small, what would you call it, recon party or something, and we were moving around the edge of some buildings, and I knew I had an AK-47, so I was holding this thing, and I was following up the rear of the 5-man team, so I was making sure no one was sneaking up behind us, sweeping around and looking and doing clearances and stuff. So my group of people I was with got ahead of me, and for some reason I couldn't find them. It was dark, and when I came around the edge of a building, there was a silhouette of a man standing there, leaning up against the wall. Now this man, I couldn't see him at the start. It was just a dark shadow. But I pointed my gun at him, and I said, "Who are you?" And I kept saying, "Who are you? Who are you?" And then all of a sudden it was daytime. I could see him clearly, and it was an 18 to 20-year-old in a Soviet uniform, Soviet-style uniform, young, very young. And he looked absolutely terrified. I was pointing my gun basically at his chest, and I told him, "Hand over your rifle," and he handed over to me his rifle, and I said, "Hand over your sidearm," and he handed over his pistol. And then I said, "Turn around." But as I looked at him, I noticed that he looked like he was going to cry, but he was going to yell out to somebody for help. And I was saying, if you do, I'm going to pull the trigger. And he looked over in a distance, and there were other Soviet soldiers in a distance, a group of about five or six of them, maybe more, and they were not aware of what was going on here. So I told him quickly to turn around. So he turned around. In the dream, I put 2 rounds in him. I pulled the trigger, and I put 2 bullets into his back because I knew he was going to give my position away. But what happened is he turned around, and he obviously, I had hit him, but he wasn't hurt, and he pulled out a hidden pistol and he started shooting at me, and he was crying. Let's see streams of tears running down his face, and he shot me in the abdomen twice, and I put my hand out, and he shot me through my hand, and I don't know if he did that more than once or twice, but that was another very vivid dream and very scary dream for me, and I woke up after that one. And what I believe it means is that there is possibly the thing that's happening right now with Russia. I've just recently had a look, and there's a bit of a military build-up and a bit of tension between NATO and Russia. And I think this is an analogy of what's happening right now. You've got maybe because the soldier was so young, he was like an 18 or 20-year-old. Maybe it's an analogy of the rebirth of the Soviet Union or the Russian Empire, maybe, and that this thing is going to rise up again. This powerful this empire is going to re-emerge again soon, and that the West may take pot shots at it or shoot it or try and shoot it in the back, but it's going to be unaffected by it. So that was that. You may have a different interpretation. That's what I saw. It was a very scary dream, even though explaining it isn't, but when you're in the dream, it was quite a scary dream. That's the second dream that I had. And that was the night after. The next dream I had, the third dream I had on the third night, was this. This is what I saw. So it looks like a bit of a mess. So I'll explain it to you here. So basically how the dream started was on the east coast of the country. I heard a rumble and I saw a massive tsunami coming, and this is in New Zealand, huge, and it came, and to me that's an analogy of impending danger. So there's a huge tsunami. So in a dream I was with my daughter, and we ran for it, and we ran towards a hill. I said we need to get up to this hill. So me and my daughter here, it's her there and it's me, we got to this hill, and up on the hill was a city, and then all of a sudden I looked to the west, and there was another huge tsunami coming west of my country, and a massive volcanic eruption, because I could see lava spitting and like a lava fountain spraying in the air, high in the air, and this big, dirty, great, huge tsunami wave approaching as well from the west, and there were buildings around. So me and my daughter stood in the middle of this road, and there were a crowd of other people. And then all of a sudden, if any of you guys have ever been in an earthquake, and I have because I live in New Zealand, there's a sound, a rolling, raspy, grinding sound happens before the earthquake comes, and that's what I heard, and I knew an earthquake was coming. I said to everyone, earthquake, and all of a sudden the ground started just to sway. It was like a gentle sway, and it got stronger and stronger. And there were buildings around us. You can't quite see them in this picture. And these buildings were just crumbling around us, or like apartment buildings and other things. And I could see people's bodies hanging out of them. And then it stopped, and there was like we survived these 3 things that were happening all at the same, more like 4 dangers that were happening all at the same time. But what's really stuck out to me is the impression on my daughter's face, because she had witnessed all this stuff. So that was the third dream I had. Extreme destruction coming from every direction. So in amongst it all, we were safe, but it's just another thing to consider in the time we're living in. It's definitely an analogy. And the last dream, I actually had more dreams than this, but I want to share the ones that, the most important ones that I had was, I saw Jesus in my dream. He came to me in my dream on one of the other nights. So a couple of nights before that, I did hear him speaking to me in my sleep. I heard a man say, talking to me about apostolic ministries and about a calling. And then a few nights later, I had this dream. So I saw a man with a hole in his hand next to me. Can't remember if it was in his wrist or the palm of his hand. I've just drawn it like this. But I saw the hem of his robe, and it was like glowing white, bright, radiant, like a radiant soft glow out of his clothing. And I knew it was Jesus straight away. And I took the opportunity to say, I said, I'm really struggling just to, do the right thing and stay on that straight, narrow path in life. And he turned around, and I didn't look at his face, but he grabbed me and he hugged me, and I cried and cried and cried in my dream. And I was crying in real life. So even though this was it was a prophetic dream and it was Jesus, my spirit inside me was crying, and I was physically crying as well. So that was incredible experience. And I remember seeing my mother the next day, and I just remembered it all out of the blue, that particular thing. There were other dreams that I had as well, but some of them were personal, about other people that I knew that I needed to give a word to. But I just wanted to, these are the 4 most important dreams that I've had over the last 4 days. And I think that we're coming to a place where there's going to be a lot of things happening all at the same time on a global scale. There's going to be dangers coming from every direction, but we just have to stay close to the Lord and listen to him and do as he says. My name's Mike Griffiths. Thank you for watching this video. Bye.